The following program was produced by the United States Courts.
Hello, I'm Javier Hernandez, reporting with the U.S. Courts. Federal Judiciary officials presented their appropriations request to Congress. The request includes $7 billion in discretionary funding for fiscal year 2016. That's a 3.9% increase over the preceding year. Bridget Lyles has more.
Witnesses for the Judiciary say their request is a balance between limiting costs and investing in the future.
We believe the request achieves our goal of holding down cost growth where possible, while also investing in several important new initiatives, some of which have the potential to, most of which, in fact, have the potential to enable us to realize more savings down the road.
The Judiciary's FY16 budget requests include $55 million for program enhancements, IT improvements, increased compensation for court-appointed lawyers in criminal cases, programs to reduce offender recidivism, additional court security officers, and increased juror pay. Judge Gibbons was joined by Jim Duff, Director of the Administrative Office of the U.S. Courts, in testifying before subcommittees in the House and the Senate. Duff asked for the committee's support on cost savings reforms endorsed by the Judicial Conference, and also to provide funding for a new, much-needed Nashville courthouse project.
Without stable and consistent funding of courthouse construction by the GSA, the ability of the judiciary to carry out its constitutional mission of administering justice is significantly impaired. The Nashville Courthouse project has been on the 5-year plan for nearly 20 years. A new courthouse is needed to resolve severe security, space, and operational deficiencies in the existing facility. We respectfully urge you to support the funding of the new Nashville Courthouse in your fiscal year 2016 appropriations bill.
Judge Gibbons testified that since 2005, the Judiciary's cost containment efforts have led to a cost avoidance of nearly $1.5 billion. Congressional appropriators acknowledged these efforts.
We appreciate that the Judiciary takes its responsibility to be good stewards of the taxpayers' money very, very seriously.
I welcome today's opportunity to examine the Judiciary's budget request and about how proactive planning has made it possible for the federal judiciary to be prepared for what has been a very difficult budget environment over the last couple of years.
Both committees asked about a judiciary initiative to reduce building space and annual rent costs.
Give us an idea of some of the things you're doing to kind of decrease the need for all that space.
Well, currently we have a national policy in place. I mentioned it, the 3% reduction. By the end of 2018, we are at the end of the first year of that, we're basically on target to meet our goal.
Now, how do you achieve that? How do you make that happen?
The other part of our national policy requires, part 2 is a no net new rule. In other words, if you acquire space, you have to give up space. Third, each circuit has had to submit a plan for space reduction. They've all done that. That is the blueprint for how each circuit is going to get to the reduction.
Committee members praised the federal judiciary even as they cautioned that Congress faces tough budget choices in the coming year.
I would argue that our federal court system is the envy of the world and the gold standard for this important independent branch of our constitutional structure.
Reporting in Washington, I'm Bridget Lyles.
Thank you, Bridget. The committees will review the request and send it through Congress in the coming months. The 2016 fiscal year begins October 1st. Reporting with the U.S. Courts, I'm Javier Hernandez in Washington.